Hello, my name is Angela Graham, and I am a fifth grade teacher at Windsor STEM Academy at Linden, Ohio. And here is another instructional video about how to incorporate technology in your virtual classroom. Now, I'm going to show you how to make your own Google website. We are going to make it a simple one because I want it to be more easy for the students to navigate, as I am focused more on the younger grades. So this is mainly focused for people who want to make a simple website from pre-K to about sixth grade is how high our school goes. Now, all you have to do to get here is you can just literally just type in Google Sites and it'll take you to it, or you can type in the URL, which is sites.google.com. You don't have to put any slash or anything after that. It just takes you here. Now, as you can tell, I have quite a few websites already here, but we're going to focus on making a new one. Of course, there's some templates, and you can look at the gallery of templates. There's dozens and dozens and dozens, and you might find one that really fits what you would like to use. In fact, if you're an older grade, it might be better to look at a template because yours is going to be more detailed if you're in the high school grades. For our intents and purposes, we are going to go and just make our own blank template. To go there, you're going to see over here, there is a Google plus sign and it says blank and it says start a new site. You are going to click that, and then it's going to open up a new window. Well, not the same window, but it's going to change it. And it's going to say Untitled Site in your page title. For this, I'm going to keep it as example site, so I remember that this is just an example. And then I'll put Miss Doe, like Jane Doe. Miss Doe's Kinder Kids. Okay. Miss Doe's Kinder Kids. Now here, what I would recommend, at least is what my school is doing. So if you are someone who's at the same school I'm at, or if you maybe need to do a little bit tweaking here and there, it's totally fine. So don't think you have to do the exact same layout I'm using. This is just something that I think will benefit myself, my partner, and maybe a few other people in our school. Now you'll see here first what you're going to do. We're going to focus on the design here because this will make our life a little easier when we make pages, so we don't have to constantly update it. Now, let's say I'm looking here and I want to make a nice banner. Of course, you can just choose a solid color. You could just, choose one of their options. You can select image. If I click select image, they have a whole bunch of random ones you can pick and see which ones you like. This is not a bad idea, but if you want some more, personalized, I would probably look up an image on Google Images and make sure that it fits what you would like. For me, I have them saved on my computer, so I'm going to click upload. And again, you got to make sure this is like a banner and it's not too small. Make sure there's not a whole bunch of words on it. You need something that kind of shows who you are, but does it in a manner that is simple and easy for students to understand and read through it. Because I mean, if you have a giant crazy banner with all these everything going on, the problem is you won't be able to read what site you're on. You're not going to read Miss Doe's kindergarten. You're not going to read contact information. It has to be readable, which is why right now it's turned on for auto readability. It will adjust to it, but you still want to make it a little easier because it can only do so much. It's not magic. So I'm going to go to one that really used because I really liked her banner. Let's see if I saved it. Let's see where I saved her banner. I'll just pick a random one. I'll just pick a random one. I'm going to do sparkles. So here's what pops up, and it's going to be glitter. So of course, it's adjusting for readability. I know some people might not quite like how it's kind of dulled. So if that happens, I would focus more on like pastel pictures because I see from experience, they seem to just look better. You can turn off remove readability adjustment, but the problem is it is not exactly easy to change the font color. You can look at themes like over here, and sometimes that will change it a bit. Sometimes if it's bold like that, it looks better. There's different options. Just because it's black here does not mean it's going to show up, black there. But what I kind of liked the best just now was vision. So we're going to stay in vision. And that would be okay to not have the readability. So now we have that set up. Now we want to make pages. We're going to make a pages here, and you see here it says just home. That's what we have right now. There's two ways to go about this. For Gen Ed, it's probably easier just to lay them out one by one, and I'll show you that now. You'll click the plus sign, And on my page, the ones that I have put down that I think benefit the students the most is student section, parent portal, tour the school, packs, and contact information. So I'm going to put that down. You're going to see me quickly put these here. And see how it automatically keeps our banner? If you do the banner first, it just carries over the banner, so you don't have to keep uploading it, and that makes life a little easier. I don't do it for the bottom part because I found out that does not always carry over, and plus, since they don't automatically come with your layout choices, it seems a little redundant. So that's why I said do the banner and then make the pages. So parent portal. Okay, and then I put tour the school because I find it beneficial to have a page dedicated to like the specials, so art, music, gym, library, in whatever way they choose to go about it. If they maybe just want to link to a Bitmoji classroom that they make on Google Slides, which honestly I think it's good to do both, the website and that, but it just talks about preference. Or maybe they made their own website using Wix or maybe another platform and they have a URL they want to share. You can hyperlink that to a picture of their choosing, or I would recommend maybe their Bitmoji picture, and it will help students be able to find it and go to it and make sure they're getting their specials in. Just because we're doing virtual school, and I know there's a lot of stress going on around everywhere. People are stressed out trying to get things, schedules are incredibly difficult to make right now, but you want to make sure we have all the important parts of school, and that includes special ed, it includes specials, it includes everybody part of our team. So that's why I have tour the school. So when I pop that up, okay. Our school uses packs. So if you're from our school, you know what that is. If you are not, you don't have to add this tab, but this just benefits us. And contact information. You definitely want to add that because there's ways for the students and the parents to get a hold of you, since they can't exactly just call the school and get a hold of you that easy. So I have that up here. Now here's one way. Now here's the other way I wanted to show you real quick that really benefits if you're doing like a special class like art, music, gym, because you're going to have a lot of classes. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, that's a lot. And if you try to put them all up at this bar, it would run out of space. It would say click more, and it's a big old mess. So what you could do here is I'm going to just make a test one. I'm going to put grades. So grade levels. You can put grades, grade levels. I'll just put grade levels and it'll pop up. Now, instead of making another one, I'm going to see this little 3 dots here and I'm going to go add a sub page. So, and then we'll give it a name. So I'm going to put kindergarten and I can keep doing that. Don't make it here. Like I think it actually might work. Let me check. You might need to do it differently. First grade. Yeah, just like I thought. Don't do that because if you do here, it's going to go more grade levels, and then once you click it, then you have to keep going further and further, and just gets really wonky. So I'm gonna take that off. I just had to test it. So always make sure you go back to the main one you were doing, and make sure you keep going, add sub page, and then you write it down. So first grade. I'm not gonna do all of them. This is just an example. Again, if you're a gen ed teacher, do not do the whole kindergarten, first, second, third, add grade levels. You don't do that. I just wanted to make sure I included a little piece that talks about art, music, science, various other places that will need grade levels on their page. Make one more just for the example. Third grade. So gen ed, I would mainly focus on student section, parent portal, tour the school, packs, and contact information. I'm going to move this one up a bit so we can see it. And then see here has an arrow. And if you go down, boom, you have kindergarten. You got first grade. You got third grade. I skipped second. I don't know why, but you have all that there. And that's what you really want to see there. I'm going to drag that back down because I'm going to focus on gen ed at the moment. Now, I'm going back to home page. And now we're going to talk about layout. So we're going to go to insert. And you're going to see the layouts here. There's 6 options. There's a picture with writing, 2 pictures with writing beneath, just pictures, vice versa, everywhere that you'd like. You can make it by hand, but I feel like the layouts make the most sense because they're already evened out and they just help things out a little bit. And if you go down, there's more options like collapsible text, table of contents, image carousel, button, divider, placeholder, yada, yada, yada. You can even insert a YouTube video if you would like. I would suggest playing around with that. For now, I'm just going to make this a very simple website and a very simple introduction video, but feel free to go play with that because there's a lot you can do with that. You can make it as complicated or simple as you'd like. You can make it as interactive as you like. You can make it how you feel comfortable with. I think it's beneficial to talk to your team to make sure you guys have similar layouts. So if someone has a sibling or if they're confused, you can help each other out. But other than that, it's your web page at the end of the day. Now, speaking of which, if someone's helping you make this, like sometimes I'm helping a few people in my school, make sure you're the one that makes the website first. So you're the one that needs to go and say, create website. You're the one that needs to share it with somebody. And how to do that is the little person right here with a plus sign, it says share with others. When you click that, a window will pop up, and that's how you can share. And the thing is, the reason why I want you to make it first is because you need to be the registered owner. So right here on this page, you'll see it says owner, and that means I own it. So at the end of the day, I can add an editor, but at the end of the day, it's still my website. There's certain things an editor can't do because you don't own it. And that's for safety reasons. So you don't want someone to accidentally completely destroy it or delete it or somehow move locations. That's why you need to own the website because it's your website. Back to here. I'm just going to make it look very similar to how we do it. We're going to put something here. I'm going to add 2 boxes, and I'm going to put down student section. I'm going to put parent portal, which is what we've been doing. You can add text here to below. I normally say click here to be redirected to da da da, or you can just delete it. So you can always delete it if you just want the button. I'm going to undo that because I'm going to write down click here to be redirected to our student section. Same thing, I'm just going to do the same thing. Make a little spelling error here and there. Over here, this is why I say to save Bitmojis. If you watched my other video with the Bitmoji extension, I do mention how you should always have a little folder on your computer with a whole bunch of your Bitmojis because it helps to have that on hand when you're doing a website, a document, an interactive slide. It just makes your life easier than having to go back and save and back and save. It gets a little tedious. So I'm going to go to upload, and it's going to pop up. I'm going to go to my little Bitmojis. And I have a lot saved here. I saved a lot just so I can use it. Some are funny that I just saved for myself, but you never know what you're gonna need. So I'm gonna click that there, and then I know it doesn't look right. Don't worry about it yet. And then we're gonna go to parent portal. I'm going to add one there. Scroll down, there it is. So these are my Bitmojis. Now, when you do that, you'll see something pop up, and there's a button. There's hyperlink with the insert link, the paperclip, which you will use later. And delete the tile. That won't delete the image, that deletes the whole entire thing. If you want to replace the image, you're going to click more editing options and then go to replace image upload. If you can crop it too, because this is how you crop, and that's how you can crop. But for what we're going to do and make our life easier, you just click the uncrop. I'm going to do it on both images and uncrop. Now I got 2 perfectly spaced and even in size icons. And we have that set up. And what I do as well on some pages, this part isn't interactive. This is just more like, hey guys, this is what my classroom looks like. You don't have to do this, but some people like it. You can click the image box, upload, and you have to already have this set up on your computer so you don't have to keep hunting it down. But I'm going to use somebody else's that I have on here. It's going to pop up down here first. I'm going to have a snapshot of the finished classroom that she made for her Bitmoji classroom. Now, what you can do is you can actually save your whole Bitmoji as a image, which I'll show in another video. It's really, really simple. You just export it as a picture. But for me, it is a little blurry, so I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I actually did a screenshot and then just cropped it to make sure it fit. Again, I'll show you that in another video because it's not that important right now. But once you add the picture, you're going to make it a little bigger because you want it to be easy to look at. Yes, the image is going to get a little cut off here and there. Don't worry. We're going to fix that like we did with the first one. It'll pop up. Then I'm going to click uncrop, and then we have a perfect little image there. I want it at the top because I want it to be in the person what they see first. So over here, these little dots, it'll open up this 4-way arrow, and then I'm going to drag it. I'm going to scoot up, and then you see that little blue line, and bam, and now it's over on top. So I have these two areas set up perfectly. Again, this won't be interactive. The one that we actually put in the student section will be. You don't really have to put a disclaimer there because, to be honest, they're going to figure out when they click it, nothing happens, because down here it tells you to click here. So over here, I'm going to show you how to do backgrounds. There's a little paint palette here. You're going to click it where it says section background. And there's layers and other things and emphasis, but that's like for solid color and stuff. But right now, I prefer just to upload my own pictures because I think it makes it kind of fun. It's going to pop up, and I have them saved on my computer because I saved them in advance because I felt it would be easier. Now, when you're picking a background, remember you need it to meld together easily. So you don't want to use like a cute picture of cats everywhere because then each section is going to have it restart and it's going to look like choppy. So you want to use like maybe wood paneling, brick works perfect. Just maybe textured. Like that's why when I look it up on Google Images, I normally pick a color I like, go like pink, textured brick wall, background, all that. And this is where I get to my pictures. And I actually really like this one that I found. It's a really nice, pretty purple. It's adjusting for readability here, so it keeps it kind of dark. So for writing, but it doesn't. You don't always have to keep that on because I found with this wallpaper, it seems to not impair the reading as much as you would anticipate. So I can undo it and look how bright that is. I think it's really pretty. I kind of like how it almost looks 3D-ish, like if you know what I mean. Not like it's not popping out of the screen, but it's just that nice color scheme there. So I love it. And then you want to do it, you have to do it to every section. That's kind of the annoying thing. You have to do it to every section, but that's why you need to make sure you save that image in a place you can find again, so you can keep putting it back in each section. So, and again, this is why it's important to pick something that blends, or else you're gonna have a very choppy, very weird kind of background. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to turn, after this adjust, I'm going to remove it as to finish. There it is. There we go. And you can still read. That's why I like it here, because you can still read student section, parent portal, and you get this nice page done. Now, we're not doing hyperlinks yet, especially on this page. And when you do that page, it's going to have to be in, later on. Again, if you need anything here, like to connect things to your drive, because that actually automatically connects to your drive. So if you need to like find something that you want to attach, it's also embed. You can embed a URL from the web. Same thing, it's just basically a URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to the next section. I'm going to student section, and a lot of it's the same thing. Student section, what I typically do with the layout is I do this part. I write down student section, say, then I'm going to write down below are some of the applications that students will be using throughout the school year. Period. What I like to do, I think it's a little too small, so I like to go make it a heading, not a title, because then it's going to be as big as the big section, student section. You can pick a different image for this, but I like to kind of make it match so they know they're in the right place. So I am going to yep, student section, and then again you click the image and go to uncrop. There you go, and then you have this image set up there. Typically I also add these below because the students are going to have things like Zoom, Google Classroom, Clever, yada yada. And then I'm going to change the name so I don't forget. I'm trying to remember everything I put there. So I know one's Google Classroom. I'm going to put Clever. I'm going to put Zoom. Now Zoom also, I could tell you later, it really comes in handy to have it on here since the students technically don't have an email. So I'll explain that after I get that set up. And I have some, like, you can actually change these up. You don't have to be identical. Since this is a fake kindergarten class, one thing that some of those kindergarten teachers are using is Starfall. So I'm going to add that there. And again, this is why I save all the images that I need and I keep them on my drive in case I need to use them again. Or you can put them straight on your desktop. I actually save the images that I'm going to need here. So this is Zoom. So I have those saved, and I'm going to bring up a Zoom picture. Clever. And we're not hyperlinking yet. Add that. Google Classroom. Now, Google Classroom icon doesn't fit perfectly, but honestly, I am okay with it because it doesn't distort the image too much. It just doesn't make it perfect, and that's okay. You can try, but the only problem if you did this, it makes it small. You can make the rest small, but it's just kind of like extra work. So if it, if it's not broken, don't fix it, Starfall. And again, you don't have to have the exact same things that we have. You can find something that fits your classroom and your grade best. Remember where I put that. Here it is. And see, this one actually has a little empty spot, those dots there that you don't want out. So this is when you want to crop. I can just zoom it in a little bit. It's okay if it's not perfect, but boom, got that there. I also add the two below it, and you can also move these around if you need to, but this is where I put the virtual classroom. So I put virtual classroom, and then I put down, click here to be redirected to our virtual Bitmoji classroom. I also put down YouTube channel because I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be very useful to use. And what was it, the fake name I gave? I think it was Miss Doze. Okay, so click here to be redirected to Miss Doze YouTube channel. And I put this down, it's very important to have in my opinion, because remember, if you're from Columbus City Schools and using a Google account, which most schools nowadays kind of use Google accounts, Google owns YouTube. So you technically already have a YouTube account. All you got to do is go to your settings and click create channel if you haven't already. And if you need help with that, you can always make a video of that. And honestly, what you should do when you're doing live sessions with the students, I know we're still figuring out the privacy reasons, like, oh, can we do that? Can we record the old sessions? Right now, as long as you're not sharing it, I would suggest you record all your sessions because you're going to need them in case a student comes late or you need to reflect on your teaching or maybe something didn't sound right or you forgot what you said. What I do last 3 months of school when the shutdown happened, I can upload them to my YouTube account and you can actually change the settings to actually have it as you cannot search me up. This is only for kids. And I can also put, you can only find my video if I give you the link, which actually is kind of useful, which means the only way your students would have been able to find the video or is because they have the link and a stranger wouldn't be able to do the same thing. So that kind of helps with the safety reasons, and that's why I set it up. So you don't have some stranger looking in. You can set it up that way so you're not being like searched up. And I can always make a video on that later for privacy reasons. So luckily, I again saved all these pictures. It's a lot easier because I saved them in advance, because if you're trying to do this as you go, it's going to take you a lot more time. And as we know, we're on this computer all day, and I don't know about you, but I do not want to be on it all day even more when my day ends. So again, you're going to need to crop this, zoom it in a little bit so you don't see the white anymore. There we go. Okay, virtual classroom. I'm going to use the same image I used earlier. This isn't my Bitmoji classroom. This is just one that's on my desktop at the moment. And I put it there. Now this is when we hyperlink it, and I'll show you how to hyperlink and where to find it on your Google Classroom and your Google Slides. Again, with YouTube, the way you can actually get to your YouTube channel, which I'm going to do that in a second, I'll show you how to get to mine, and it's the same way. Again, you got to put the background for each section, which is why I said keep it in a very easy to find place. I'm going to adjust it. So first, while it adjusts, I'm going to start adding it to each section. And you don't have to do this all in one sitting. Personally, I prefer it because then it stays in my mind until it's done, but it's whatever suits you best. Okay, so that's loading. So here, again, you can keep it dark if you want, or you can actually change it. I know it can be a little harder to see a little bit, but not if they're bolded. So like this one would be a problem. See how tiny it is? If you want to, you can double tap. Unfortunately, I still have not figured out how to change color because it's not really letting me, but I can make it bold, or I can even make it into a subheading, which makes it bigger. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do subheading, and then you gotta do bold. Wait, it's already bolded. Subheading, and that makes it a little bit stick out a bit more. And that's good there. I'll just turn it off. And then this one you might actually want to make bolded because that one is hard to see. But luckily, that's not the most important part for them to see. There you go. There you go. So that part's done. I'm not going to go over every single page. I'm going to go kind of quickly. So for sake of time, parent portal is very similar to student section. So again, it's this one, and then this one for the parent icons. I'm going to put parent portal. Okay. Below are resources available to parents, guardians to help with their child's learning throughout the school year. Again, what I would do here is I would make it into a heading. Sticks out better. This is why I saved my Bitmoji. So I actually am going to do the same one that I used when they click to get to that parent portal. Uncrop. Bam. Again, this is for them. So what I do is I do CCS parent portal. I actually have the link for that, which I use for them. This is your school website, which especially now, if you check your school website, if you're a Columbus City school teacher, you'll find that they're updated and they're ready to go. So I'm gonna put my school name, Windsor STEM. You're gonna also want to put down Infinite Campus. I always do that so they can get to it easier. And let's see, what was the fourth one I used? Oh, Kickboard. My school uses Kickboard, which is a behavior. It's for PBS, a PBIS tool. And it's actually pretty useful. And you can actually add the login there because parents can log in as well as students. And it allows them to, check on behavior, good and bad, points. And the students love to use it to buy stuff at the store. So I always like to add that in there. Now, again, I save these pictures in advance to save me time. And I'll keep saying that. I'm going to beat that dead horse with that because I feel like it's going to help for everyone to do the same, especially if there's ever a glitch. It's hard. I will tell you this. It's very hard to delete something from a Google account, a Google Drive. There was somebody had a scare recently. They thought their whole website was deleted after they did all that hard work. The good news is Google doesn't just delete things when you click delete. It's like there's a four-way process. Like, are you sure you want to delete? Are you really sure you want to delete? Do you want to sign this contract about deleting? You want to delete? Then if someone clicks it 4 times in a row, then they better know that they made a choice to delete that. They try their best to make sure no one accidentally ever, does that. So they're pretty understanding about that. So they have some safeguards in place. And Infinite Campus. Okay, so I have those there. Those are the only things I put in Parent Portal. Right now, you can always add more if you feel like you need more. But now I'm going to add the background. Okay, and that's going to load for a second, and I can change the readability. Again, I probably am going to change the font to subheading because I want it to be easily seen. The picture kind of tells what it is, but you don't want to, play with chance. Okay, I'm going to turn off readability. There we go. Now, toward the school, I'm not even done with mine yet because I'm waiting for everybody else to finish what they're doing. If they're deciding, oh, I want to make my own website, and maybe I don't want a website, maybe I'm using a different format, maybe I'm doing Bitmoji Classroom only. That's why I'm letting this kind of be open, but I have it ready for when it's time. I do the 4 for the specials, and then personally, I got to add one for peak because our school uses peak. I haven't done it yet. I have them here. So this is where students can find other areas. I'm going to put music. I want to make subheading because we know we're going to do that already. Gym, art, and library. Oops. Down here, I'm actually, because I know they're working on their own Bitmoji classrooms, and we want the students to feel like, even if it's online, this is still school, and to feel like they can still talk to people who are important to them. So I'm going to add that here, and you never know, parents need more details as well. So I'm going to put Mr. Mon, and I'm going to delete this because I find it unnecessary to have that extra box. Mr. Tate, Vice Principal, and then you could put like the nurse's name, Nurse Patrick, or nurse's office, whatever you prefer. And then again, I'm going to be adding a peak one. I just haven't yet. And this here, I leave the pictures out because I haven't yet to get the picture icons that I want to choose yet, but I do the background. So I'm going to again do the background. Oops. I'm going to add that in. Okay. And you have that set up. And we're almost done. So PACS, again, is something I'm still working on because I want to talk to the person in charge of PACS, Mr. Sam, and talk to him about what he would really like to see here. We do have the information, so I could just make an example and send him, but I get to do that. So I'm going to put what is PACS, and then I put down coming soon. I'm going to keep that subheading. I already saved the PACS image to my computer. So I'm going to go get it. Then again, I uncrop, and then I got to do the background. Once you get used to how to do this, it actually gets, it's pretty easy. You kind of go into the flow with it, like, oh, I know how to do this now. This is, I feel more comfortable now that I know where the tools are at. I'm going to let that load. And I'm also going to show you the carousel before we go, because that's actually a really fun tool to have. Contact information. Okay, and this is for you. You're probably going to see the most differences here, depending on what you're comfortable with. What I typically do is I start with this. I like to show some pictures, and then I have a text box. And I'm going to do an example carousel just to show you what that is. When you click carousel, there's going to come up this little window that says insert images. You need at least 2 images to start. So I'm going to click upload image. You can select images, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to upload some random ones. I'll do like, we'll do real pictures. We'll go use some real pictures that I have from home. Okay. And you can hold the control key when you're doing this to get more images at once. Open. I'm going to let that open up and upload. And then you're going to click insert once all 3 are ready. Now you can make this bigger as well. And I'm going to make this bigger because I want students to be able to see it. You're also trying to make sure it doesn't distort the images too much. Okay. There we go. And the cool thing is once this is published, the students can actually click and go down the images. You can't see it yet, but an arrow is going to pop up here. And this dot tells you how many pictures are on the document. Same here, you can put your own images. For the sake of it, I'm just going to put some random ones I have here. Doesn't always have to be mine. It can just be some random. Let's see. Put this one here. Upload. put, this is just random photos. They're not all mine. Let's see. Cutie. Okay. And then I'm going to uncrop because I think it looks better that way. If I have space, like see here, this actually ended up with some unintentional space. It's really easy just to insert an image and click upload. And then I can always drag it over. So I'm just going to pick a random one. I need like a small one. And sometimes it's like kind of like a puzzle, to be honest, like figuring out which one fits best. Here's a funny one I like. I'm going to drag it. You can see here. I'm going to put it in this empty space here. I'm going to make it smaller so it doesn't distort it so much. And you can see here it's kind of trying to play with both of them. And I make it a little bigger. Uncrop. And now we got those here. And then here you would put a picture, of yourself, just so they know who they're talking to. There we go. For now, it could be a real picture, but I'm just clicking a random one. And then you're going to put your name. So I'm going to put Jane Doe, and then you would write your introduction here. So write introduction here. So I write that so people remember. Again, I would probably make it to a subheading and the background. Okay, while that loads, I'm going to go scroll down. There we go. And most websites are not going to be completely done yet because you're going to take your time and you're going to go, make changes until school starts. Maybe make changes when school does start. And let's see. And that's totally fine. That's why you own it, so you can change what you need. There we go. And while that loads, over here I'll show you, I'm going to put down contact information. Oops, it's having issues. Now, something a coworker told me this and I ended up loving it, was something, instead of using your phone number, using a Google Voice number. Something you should look into. I'll make a video on it later, but I'm going to write that down from here. Google Voice. It helps protect your privacy, gives you another number, and you don't have to answer it 24/7. So if you have a student or parent who really likes to call you at midnight, which has happened to me, and you're like, I really need to sleep, you can, actually have it on an app instead, and you don't have to answer it then, and it won't ring, it won't wake you up. You'll be fine. And then you're going to want to put your real email address there because the students, if they need to share a document with you, if they did an assignment and maybe they accidentally made their own instead of using one from your Google Classroom, you're going to need to share it using your email. And that's why they need it. But now I change it to make sure it looks like it stands out. You could highlight what you want. I'll make that title. Then I'm going to make this heading. And will make it more obvious to see there. I'm going to leave it there alone. Again, we are going to turn off readability. You can always change this if you change your mind. There you go. And you got a nice little page there. We're not doing this because I already explained why I had that there, just to show the art, music, gym, etc. library. If you have multiple grades, you can always do that. And you have a website so far. Something I'd like to add to, which I've added to mine, was add a logo. You can add it, and this actually acts as a navigation bar. What I did was, when I did my Bitmoji, you can type in pencil, and if you do that, your Bitmoji will pop up holding a pencil. I'm going to do that, and you can see her pop up right here, and she's literally just holding a pencil. And the cool thing is, if you slide down, like when you're actually in the page, she'll slide down too, and it's really nice there. You can change that bar color because right now it's blue, but let's say I want to make it purple, so it matches better. Or you can make your own by clicking this little paint bucket. You can do whatever one you like the best, and it'll scroll down. Now I'm going to show you how to do hyperlinks real quick. You can make sure when you're hyperlinking, if you're hyperlinking to a login, make sure you go to the right login. Like if you, let's say, you use Class Dojo instead of Kickboard, you need to make sure you go to Class Dojo the login or Kickboard the login. You want to make sure it takes them to the right site so they're not confused. You have to be careful with Portal. When you do that, there is a very clear link to set them up to the auto login, because once they click it, it uses Active Directory to let them go in. You can actually hyperlink to that particular part of the website, and it literally cuts down login time. Now I understand the Chromebooks already have like the extension at the top, but I really like how once this ties together, like the website will be done. There's another video that teaches you how to put it in their portal. Clever. There's other ways to connect every single little thing, and it makes it easier for students to find. I like how it kind of makes it a complete circle of if you get lost somewhere and you can end up back where you need to be no matter what. And I think it's a little bit more useful than having like 5,000 different platforms. But real fast, I want to show you how to hyperlink. I'm going to use our school website as an example. So I'm going to go Windsor STEM. It's going to pop up. Go to our website. And once it's loading, up here, I'm going to go make sure I highlight the whole entire URL, and then you're going to copy it. So you can also do Control-C and copy it, especially if you're on a Chromebook. Go to example site. I'm going to click it, and then click it again, and then this bar comes up, and I'm going to click that paper clip. Okay, remember the paper clip. You're going to click it. I'm inserting the link. Then I'm going to paste it and apply. Now, see, when we click it, we'll see it pop up. When you're a person watching at the website, looking at it, you can use it on the phone, tablet, computer. They can just click it and it takes them straight there. Lifesaver, it's awesome. You do that to every single one here, and you'll have a working, interactive links. Something to know, which is the tedious part that you have to remember at the end, to make these work, what you need to do is publish it first, which I'll show at the very end, because you want to remember the links for the student section and parent portal, because right now this is not it. This is not it at all. It's edit. And that will allow you to attach this, so when the students click it, they'll open up, which I'll show at the very, very, very end. Before I go on, we'll show you real fast about YouTube. So I'm on my work YouTube account, and make sure you are aware to what account you're logged into. You don't want to be looking up, if you have a child or a student, or like my niece looks up really weird stuff about baby shark. So it will pop up in your work email, because your work email is owned by the school, so they can see your search history. So just so you're aware, because there was a funny story in high school when my French teacher looked up axe. Like she was looking up the like a French word for axe or something, or an image for a project we were doing, and she got a call. They asked her why she was looking up a dangerous weapon on her school computer and on her account. She didn't realize that because she also looked it up at home, so they could see that she was logged in. And they make that clear when you get it, like it's literally in the documentation. But anyway, over here, if you click up here, that you'll see, or it says your channel, membership, all that. This is again owned by the school. You'll see an annoying ad up here. Ignore that. That's not anything there. And these are the things that are below it are the recommendations. Like we have a pet gecko, so it's really useful because it actually shows me if I'm doing like Hamilton, or you're looking for a good soundtrack, or you're looking for some like create a class website, like right then and there. It's really useful because it gives you recommendation from other like-minded sources. Again, the first part's always an ad, so just ignore that. But we're gonna go to your channel. And if you go to your channel, you can actually see here, you can add it. So right now it says like customize channel, because I already have it. If you are first making it, it will literally go like create channel. Yours will say create channel. You're gonna click it, and then you're just gonna go walk through whatever it says and then add it. When you're at this page, you're gonna copy this link, which I'll actually do, for example, because you're a subscriber, and this will take them to their page. And I'm gonna take you to the example site here, again, student section. If I go to the YouTube again, link it, and that will take them to my page, my channel, so they can see my stuff if they need to. So that's how you do YouTube. And we already set up our dashboard little logo friend. And actually, I want to show you this really cool trick too, because this website can be active on iPad, on your phone, on any kind of tablet, anything like that, which actually comes in handy because if you think about it, not all of our applications can actually appear on certain software, especially like on tablets. iReady is one of them that does not work on really any tablet that I found so far, but this can. And I'm not saying that they still have to get to iReady if you use it, but it at least helps them get some information out that if an iPad is the only thing they have available to them, which they shouldn't, but if it is, they can still see what's going on. So if you click here, it's called Preview. It's going to switch me, and first it shows me what it would look like as a finished website. So I can go down, see, like these aren't hyperlinked yet, but this is, so my icon becomes a hand, so I can click it and it would open a link. I have all this fun stuff. I can go to the web page. My little pencil follows me if I scroll down. Now here's the cool thing. I'm going to click tablet version. This is what my website would look like on a tablet. So this is how they'll see everything. And they can go around and check it out. And they'll see more, grade levels further. Yeah, you can do all that. This is something really cool. This one isn't done, so that's why it's blank. Oops. See, and you have to make sure you click that and kindergarten. Boom, all that kind of fun stuff. See the tablet, you can tell some of it will get cut off just because it's an awkward shape. That's okay. And then we go to phone. And this is what it would look like for your phone. And I actually saved my website to my phone as a shortcut, so I always have it. But yes, so you have all that there. This is how it would look like on a phone. So when X out a preview, that's how you can test how it would look like to students. Once you are completely done and you like what you're doing, you're going to click this button called Publish. Now this will pop up. Now here's what I would do. And again, I'm going to delete this so it's not going to exist much longer. If you also want to change this, I would. Yes, it says anyone at Columbus City Schools, but my theory is it's still not searchable because there's a way on here that defaults to I can't just look up example site and it pops up. Because that's turned off automatically. You turn it on if you want to be searched on Google, which for privacy reasons do not. But here is, I like to go and put, this is what I've been doing for our school example, and you can put dashes. You can't put anything really else in all lowercase. I put Windsor. Like everybody, like all my coworkers, I've been having it as their last name dash Windsor. And you want to be as simple as you can because like right now, this looks pretty daunting. But if you manage this, watch, I'm going to change. I'm going to go to that's draft. I'm going to go to public. And it says anyone on the internet can find technically, but without the link, because you can turn off the ability to search, and I'll show you why if I search an example site, it's not going to pop up. There we go. And see, request public search engines do not display my site. There you go. So that comes in handy for privacy. An example dash Windsor, I leave it like that. I'm going to go to publish. I'm going to give it a second. And here's the cool thing. So now it's published. It is literally a website now. But first I'm going to go to the arrow down, view published site. Gonna let it pop up. Okay, it's loading still. Okay, and then I'm on student section right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to control copy. I'm going to go back here because I'm still editing. I'm going to the home page. I'm going to hyperlink this to student section. Apply. Now I'm going to go back to my finished site. I'm going to go to parent portal. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go click it, hyperlink, enter, apply. There we go, and I have it there. And I did this because I want when the students click it, it's gonna just automatically take them to the section they need to be, open a new tab. Again, they can go to the top, but it never hurts to make it easier for them to find. I'm not gonna exit this out yet, but then I'm gonna go to review changes and publish. This will pop up. It's just saying, are you sure you want to make these changes? You go, yes, I know what I'm doing. Go to publish. And I'm going to go back here because right now it's not refreshed yet. So I'm going to go to refresh, go home. It refreshes when it does that. And see here, boom, it's redirecting me. Now it is connected, it has the URL connected, and you have a working website. That is literally it. I know it's tedious. I apologize. This video was very long, I think. And trust me, I'm talking to myself in my apartment for a while, so it's not exactly normal. But at least the video should be about done. This is basically everything you need to know about making a website. I really hope this helps. If you are still struggling, feel free to contact me and I can see if I can help you. And you can review this in many times as you want. I believe we have gotten everything. We talked about all the pages, how to make them, inserting pictures, all that you can play with these, see how you like them, because honestly, you can do a lot of cool things on here. And that's your website. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I'll be making more future instructional videos on how to incorporate technology into your virtual classroom. Have a wonderful day.